Hello, my name is Ben Kingston-Hughes. I'm the Managing Director of Inspired Children, and we're a company working with vulnerable children across the UK, and we work with babies all the way up to 19-year-olds. We also work with adults who work with children, so we deliver training for any adult who works with any child of any age, and that's why we're doing these video presentations at the moment. So I've been a play worker now for over 30 years, and many years ago I went to this Spirit of Adventure Play conference in Cardiff. And I was very fortunate. I was on a workshop led by the late, great Perry Else. And if you don't know who Perry Else is, please research this guy, because Perry Else is one of the co-authors, along with Gordon Sturrock, of the Colorado paper. And the Colorado paper was an incredibly influential paper that I believe did so much to put play on the map in terms of it being treated as an academic discipline, as something of worth rather than something frivolous. And it brought in so many of the lovely phrases that are the cornerstones of play work. So for instance, psycholudics. Psycholudics is the study of the child's mind at play. Adulteration, lovely phrase, which means when adults undermine play. And also ludocentric. The ludocentric approach, which is a recognised pedagogy, and that just means prioritising play. But in amongst all of those wonderful phrases, they also brought in the concept of the play cycle. And the play cycle, for me, is one of the most useful theories I've ever read to do with children. And it's actually improved how I am as a dad, let alone how I work with children. And if you don't know about the play cycle, please research it further or get in touch, because we do video training on the play cycle. But it helps all of my staff to recognise play, to support play, and to observe it. But also to help all those children to get a play return for their wonderful play cues. So the other thing about the play cycle is it teaches us to recognise those all-important play cues just as a means of a child expressing themselves, not, as they are so often misinterpreted, as negative behaviour. And so I did this workshop with the great Perry Else, and he was encouraging us to play freely within a set of resources that he brought in and to express ourselves through play. And he brought in Lego and den making kit and sticks and boxes and costumes and all sorts of things and puppets. And so towards the end he said, right, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to put together a short presentation that just expresses the joy of play through any media you wish. You can use the items we've got here or anything else if you want. You can make a song up if you want, or even write a poem. And then he left us to it. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to write a poem. I've never done that before. This will be great. So I sat down, pen and paper, and started writing a poem. And I looked round, and nobody else was doing that. Everybody else was playing with the stuff and having way more fun than me. But I thought, well, I've started now. So I sat there and I did the poem. I wrote this poem, and I was really pleased with it. I thought, yeah, I'm really happy with that poem. And then at the end, Perry Else got up and he said, right, that's wonderful what you've all done. It'd be really nice if you could share some of what you've done with the group. So I thought, not a chance, keep my head down, sit at the back, and we'll just look at some other people. So other people got up and showed what they'd done with Lego, what they'd done with cardboard boxes. And I thought, oh, I'm all right, I've got away with it. Then he said, well, I did notice that Ben had written a poem. So whilst Ben was writing a poem, I wrote a poem as well. So Perry Else wrote a poem at the same time as me. And he said, what I thought would be great is if Ben and I, we both get up and we do our poems together. And I'm thinking, no, because now not only have I got to read my poem out in front of 30 people, I'm effectively in a poem off with Perry Else. So that's what had to happen. So wishing that the ground would open up and swallow me whole, I had to stand up, totally unprepared, in front of 30 other people, next to Perry Else, and deliver this poem that I'm about to read for you now. And it was one of those deeply embarrassing moments, because I don't have a copy of Perry's poem. I don't even know if even Perry kept a copy of his poem, but I'll tell you this, it was better than mine. And even though I was really proud of my poem, Perry's, I believe, was even better. So I don't have Perry's poem, but I do have a copy of my poem that I did all those years ago at the Spirit of Adventure Play conference. So this is my poem for you guys. 8, by me, Ben Kingston-Hughes. A poem about what it's like to be 8 years old. When summer is forever and winter but a myth, when flying is a jump away and falling a distant risk, when scabs are badges of honour and every fear has a name, when rules are meant to be broken and no 2 seconds are the same, when the world is both bigger and smaller than at any time before, when running is skipping and slipping and tripping and barely touching the floor, when there is no past or future, just a never-ending now, where beauty is prodding a dead frog and we don't care why or how, When sticks are sticky and girls are icky, and you like the taste of dirt. When a coat hood makes you a superhero, impervious to hurt. When all and everything is possible, and you fly on the winds of fate. We are children. We are gods in our own image. We are 8. Thank you very much. And that poem was dedicated to the late Perry Else. And on that note, I hope you've enjoyed this short presentation. Please keep that fire burning for playwork, and hopefully one day soon we can all get back to doing what we do so well, which is supporting wonderful, rich play experiences for our children. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you hopefully one day soon.